Good evening and welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page that you are currently watching on mute, simply click on the link below this video to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. Number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the show. You will be warmly welcome back on the next stream. With that, I'm going to transition across to my photographs and invite anybody who is currently in the live audience to share the show on social media. I will do the same. Once more, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. The stream up for a little while, so I may as well do some shout outs to the people who've already joined us. So Flat Earth Christian Truthers, good to have you here. Brenda von Ashen, good to see you, nice to see you here again. Be Here and Love, Zoe, good to have you, pleased to see you. Agent Detective, very pleased to have you here also. Any more for any more? Alba, good to see you also. Please share the show. Hello to all the free people. Very pleased to have you here. If one of you from the live chat would like to just click on the link in the info box just to check it does actually work. I'm pretty sure it will, but there has been several occasions where it has not. So if you could check on that link, I'd be very grateful. Zao Rain, thank you for being here. Says, what's up, flat earth people everywhere? Sun and the sky and the moon, they're all definitely up. We have been joined by Brenda. Very pleased to have you here, Brenda.
There we go. There we go.
Let's just transition across to the Hangout page. There we go. Can you say a few words just so I can make sure your mic is nice and loud?
Oh, okay. Good afternoon. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving with those who celebrate.
Yep, you're perfect.
Of course I am. So, what's our subject for today?
Flat Earth, as always.
Oh, really? Okay. Anybody joining anytime soon?
I should hope so.
Okay.
You're not normally here at this early, are you? It normally takes about 5 or 10
I'm
minutes to
normally
get going.
I'm normally not. I normally miss them,
These
except
first
for the last
early
10
minutes,
minutes.
yeah, they're normally just me shouting at people in the chat until a couple of people join. Then I go on mute and let them thrash it out. Adam Young, good to have you here. But you will be able to debate uninterrupted when somebody does join, providing, of course, they are on the opposing side.
Well, I think on the whole, they've been okay. The discussions have been okay. Sometimes they get a little shouty or a little hectic, but for the most part, I think they've been okay.
Yeah, at the end of some of them, I assess it and go, wow, haven't the flat earthers been terribly behaved? And then on the end of some of them, I go, wow, haven't the ball earthers been terribly behaved? So it's kind of 6 on one and half a dozen of the other. I don't think there's one side that's been worse than the other. But on the whole, I think, like you say, I think that's a fair assessment. It's been a fairly cordial affair on the whole.
I think some ball earthers are indeed poorly behaved. Sometimes that does happen.
Shout out to Shruminati. Good to see you. Nick Al also. Thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello.
So I guess as a round ball earther, I don't know what to say. One of the biggest problems that I see in this area is the lack of knowledge of people of how basic reasoning works, how thinking works, of how science works. They think people seem to think that they can just make claims, and that is not the case. When you say that something is the case, you need to provide a justification for why you believe something is the case. So if you say the earth is flat, you need to provide reasons why. If you say it's round, you need to provide reasons why. If you say the earth is not round because round earthers have not made the case, you need to provide reasons why. And people need to understand how science works. Science works by developing a hypothesis based on observations. So we observe facts in the world. From those facts, we develop a hypothesis. Ordinary people, and we see this a lot, not just in flat earthers, but a lot of ordinary people seem to think that science is just a theory, which it is not. And a theory in science is much more than just a guess. It is much more than that. A hypothesis is just something that we think might explain some observed fact that we see in the world. And from that observation and the hypothesis, people develop experiments that are intended to test the hypothesis and to see if it holds up or not. If, after a long period of testing, the hypothesis stands and seems to explain why we see what we see, then it actually gets elevated into a theory. And a theory is the highest form that any kind of statement in science can take. That is, so it's not a guess, it's based on experiment and observation and reasoning, testing to see how the theory is. Some theories have withstood the tests of time for many, many years, many hundreds of years, and we feel extremely confident in those theories. And then people will then say, well, based on this theory, which has withstood countless challenges, and no one has ever been able to show that it is wrong, based on that theory, I'm going to make additional hypotheses and then build off of that. And that's how science works. It builds off of prior knowledge. Another problem I see in the flat earth theory or flat earth people, and again, not just flat earthers, but just ordinary people, a lot of times, is they seem to be confused about the difference between belief and truth. Every thought that you have is a belief. I believe that chocolate ice cream is delicious. To me, it is delicious, but to you, it might not be. That is a belief that I have. I might also then believe that Mount Everest is 26,000 feet above sea level. That is another belief. However, in this case, whether or not it is 26,000 feet above sea level is an objective truth that can be tested by other people. And the reason why is because, unlike chocolate is delicious, the truth of Mount Everest is 26,000 feet above sea level does not depend on my personal opinion. It is an objective, measurable fact that we can go out in the world and we can measure how tall Mount Everest is. So this is the difference between subjective beliefs, which are things like chocolate is delicious, and objective beliefs, which are things like Mount Everest is a certain height. And these things need to be given justification. And so when I have a belief, and that belief is true, and I have justification for that belief, that is called knowledge. All knowledge is a form of belief. All knowledge has to be justified in order to make a claim.
We've been joined by
and so that's my
Grim V.
little lecture. It was a little something, and so we could get somebody in here.
We have Grim V. Pleased to have you here.
What's up? I'm not ready yet. I'm just, waiting for some action.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Good to have you
preparing
here all the
for
same.
the show.
Good for you. Good for you. I don't imbibe. However, I did have a nice Gewürztraminer over the Thanksgiving. That was pleasant. A little wine, a German wine. I like German wines.
What is that? What kind of wine is it?
Gewürztraminer is a German wine. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit dry. Rieslings are very sweet. Liebfrau milk is also kind of dry. I like those.
Wine?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wine.
Yes. Yes. And then I also had some IPA brew. Beer. IPA.
IPA? I don't know what that is.
It's a brand. I don't know.
It's not like a mead or something, right? Not like a honey mead.
I don't think it's a honey mead. I think it's just a specialty beer. You pay a bit extra for them. They taste a bit better. Then I had some turkey.
Bit of a German twist to your Thanksgiving. There we go.
I'm not exclusive in that regard. I will have anything else. I'm just trying to make conversation in the meantime.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Little German twist to the Thanksgiving.
Sure.
What is it called? Lederhosen. A little Lederhosen and a little turkey shooting.
I do not own any Lederhosen.
Lederhosen.
Lederhosen. Yeah.
Lederhosen. Well, I do, so don't be making fun
There
of
you
me.
go. I'm sure you look cute. I'm sure you look cute in your Lederhosen.
On my Lederhosen.
That's kind of really more of a Swiss thing, isn't it? Up in the Alps. The Swiss are pretty interesting.
German.
Oh, okay. The Swiss are pretty interesting. They have an interesting history. The Swiss do.
I'm not great at history when it comes to unconspiratorially.
extremely racist in my experience, the Swiss.
Oh,
It's
pardon
possible.
me.
That's possible.
Oh.
I wouldn't know enough to have formed an opinion about that. Quite a lot of people are very racist.
Blue-eyed devils.
I find the flat Earth community to be probably the most anti-Semitic community I've seen, even more so than the alt-right. They're
That is an interesting
extremely
opinion.
anti-Semitic.
I'd love to hear more about that. That definitely interests me.
Well, I've just noticed that there's a lot of anti-Semitic language that I see. Anti-Semitic.
Does that mean brown people?
No, it means Jews.
Let me look it up. I mean, I know it's supposed to mean Jews, like inferred Jews, but doesn't it just mean brown people? Because it seems like a trick. Like the Jews are playing like, well, you don't like my religion? Ooh, you're racist.
I don't know.
You get it?
I
though?
don't know.
You know
It just means being a
Ooh, you
Semite.
don't like brown people.
Actually, well,
it's like, hey, I just don't like the Jewish religion.
Semite is an ethnicity. Semite is an ethnicity, but
I didn't know.
It's generally attached to people of
generally attached. Why?
To the
like what would be the psychological advantage to have generally attached brown people to religion?
It's just a accident.
Think about that though, right?
Just an accident of history, I think, and due to the fact of the Holocaust, it simply became generally associated with people of Jewish history, religion, or ancestry, because Jews are both an ethnicity and a religion.
And normally they're just brown people for the most part.
I have never seen.
But isn't that funny how blacks blame whitey for everything that white Jews did? But they're Jews claim to be brown.
I don't think they claim to be brown. I've never really seen
Semitic, anti-Semitic, anti-brown.
Yeah, Yeah, well, you can look that up for yourself. I don't think Jews are actually are darkened skin. I think they're quite light. They look like anybody else, as far as I can tell.
Just while Grim looks that up, then, Brenda, what do you or why do you attribute the anti-Semitic behaviour of flat earthers, or what do you think is the cause of the anti-Semitic behaviour?
I think it's a lot of flat Earth tends to be conspiratorial, and Jews figure into a lot of conspiracy theories.
See, anti-Semitism is generally considered to be a form of racism.
Yes.
Right. And Jews isn't a race. Judaism's a religion.
True. But you can
so they tricked everybody into, it's called a plea to emotions argument to save themselves from persecution.
Well, I don't.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I think people just lump people in together for historical reasons. Typically, it seems like it's the same kind of emotional.
So technically, I'm an African then, right?
Well, we're all humans are basically Africans. We all came from Africa.
But do you get what I'm saying? If I'm just going to generally classify myself as something everyone else is, then I'm an African. And am I being honest? Do I look like somebody who's normally considered an African?
Anyway, we've been joined by David. Can I just say a quick hello to David Blackson? Good to have you here, David. Thanks for being here.
I'm just being funny, but I'm also
I know. Context helps a lot.
You have when you're a kid, like, why is the sky blue? Oh, the Rayleigh effect. Right. Don't ask a flat earther to understand that. But let's move on.
It's Rayleigh scattering. Yes, you know that.
Yeah, you do. But of course.
See if I can get a hello out of David. How you doing, David?
He's muted at the current time. Self-muted.
I should really mention this at this point, that from this stage on, to stop people sniping, if you come in and don't say hello, I will just boot you. I mean, there's going to be exceptions, like David, who I'm pretty certain.
I missed an end to your sentence there. If you come in, what?
So I said, if you come in and don't say hello, I will just kick you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, try and say hello, David, if you can.
You got 20 seconds.
But if you have this set up, you just restart it again, right?
Sure, it's just once the show's going, if somebody was to kick out, this happened earlier, so Sleeping Warrior was in.
Hello.
And thank you, David.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm going to
somebody
go on
join
mute
the
for
hangout.
just a minute here.
All righty.
Somebody joined the hangout just for the sole purpose of sniping Sleeping Warrior, and then buggered off once they had done. So they just, to me, that's, I'm going to say that's telling of somebody that doesn't want to hear what Anthony Riley has to say. Well, why not? You may mock, but it's like, well, even if somebody, like, let's pick a different person. So let's say A4, and you think, oh, it's ludicrous. He's saying we're all agents and paid by the government, which I would actually attribute my testament to. I would say that's ludicrous. But if that was the case, I want him to say that. I want people to see that out there. It's fine for me to say, yes, Adam, you feel free to state your opinion, but I want people to recognise that kind of nonsense. But the only way people will ever get to recognise that nonsense is if it's seen and heard. So by sniping out someone like Sleeping Warrior, if you think he's ludicrous and ridiculous, let that be seen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't snipe people anyway, so that's ridiculous.
But yeah.
Well, I have in the past. I've gotten angry and stuff. I've gotten a little bit over that, I think, but no.
I was gonna snipe you one day, Nathan. You got rid of me 4 times in a row, but I didn't.
Yeah, rule 2, man. There's only 2 rules.
That was a fun day, wasn't it?
It's an angry reaction sometimes.
How many of these debates are we going to have, Nathan?
12 more.
What number are you going to? 100?
As long as
Thank
people
you.
keep...
We're waiting for the first real debate to actually ever happen. There's never really been a real debate yet.
It's not really a formal debate. It's just a discussion, and I guess he would continue them until he has a reason not to.
Until the Globetars go home, huh?
No, until you submit.
Anyway, can we say a quick hello to Curved?
You must concede, dude. I've got one word for you: Equinox.
We've been joined by Curved Water. Pleased to have you here, Curved.
Hey up, everyone.
I'm noisy. Curved Water.
Me and Free put it on y'all last night. It wasn't. It was like a blowout. It was,
put it on us. Woo!
We've also been joined by Alex French. Pleased to have you here, Alex. Kata.
Hello.
David had Globe Earthers 50-51 or 51-50, didn't you, David? You had him thrown in the insane asylum. Hey, what's up, Alex?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Yo.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready for the flat Earth debate.
Yes, I honestly wish I could pass this around to everyone so we can all be on, close to the same playing field. I know it's a disadvantage when I'm in the room, but we'll get back to you.
Sorry, I'm here to handicap the ballers.
I'll be here all night.
In my state, it would not be okay for me to partake.
Well,
you need to show us that spinning ball you think's right again. Where's that ball at?
Oh, Kev thought of a great point about your thing with the magnetic field.
In the state of shock. I hate your state. I mean, just for that simple reason.
Oh, it's better in other ways.
Well,
there's only a couple. There's only a couple that have legalized marijuana, right?
David's moved beyond that point.
Pretty much handful. Yeah, 4 or 5.
He probably doesn't even remember his point.
How many parts are there in a compass?
Hey, David.
3.
Let me ask you this.
There's only 3 parts. You got a magnetic needle, a revolving compass housing, and a transparent base. That's it. So
All right,
this story that they were given last night that they got these special
yes was correct.
They got these special compasses over in Australia, right? They got to get them lean the right way.
David, you don't know how to process information. Now listen.
They do have to lean the right way, knucklehead.
Here's the deal, David.
In a fun way. I don't mean.
Remember what you were asking for last night with about the compass needle flipping around and everything you wanted to see?
Me and Free just whooped y'all last night real
Hey,
bad.
David.
Y'all better come up with a good story here.
Hey, David, here's the point to you, okay? Try answering a question honestly for once. Now,
Oh, be nice.
when it comes to what you were expecting to see, explain to me what the difference is between a globe Earth and a flat Earth as it pertains to what you wanted to see demonstrated. What's the difference?
We don't have to go back to the maps now. We can go
David?
back to those if you want to.
You can't do it, can you? You're going to derp it. You're going to derp and
If I
dodge.
go straight north out of Dallas, right? I passed up Chicago and I stay on that north line.
Go ahead.
When I get on the other side of the North Pole, what is the next landmass I'm gonna get to?
Go ahead, David. What's the difference between flat Earth and globe there, with what you want to see with respect to the compass?
Presumably
What's
on
the
the flat Earth, there's a North Pole, right?
Yeah, I
No,
want
on
to
the
know
ball,
what the
there's a
difference
North
is,
Pole.
David.
Huh?
What's the difference, David?
The
There's
top
one
of the
on the flat
ball
Earth,
is the
too.
North Pole, isn't that right?
There's a
No.
North Pole on the flat Earth too, right? Isn't there?
There is a North Pole on the flat Earth. That's right.
Yes. So what
right.
what possible difference would there be?
There is no difference other than we want to know.
There you go.
Why haven't we ever seen it?
Okay, so there you go.
Why haven't we ever seen anybody fly over the North Pole and the compass flip back?
Once again, done and dusted. He doesn't understand the question even.
Nope.
This guy's a complete and utter embarrassment. Good job, David. No wonder you think you win.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep on repeating that nobody circumnavigated the Earth, too. That's not true.
Kudos to you, moron. Your dog is smarter than you.
Mm-hmm. I got a smart dog, that's for sure.
Better looking, too. No doubt.
He is probably pretty smart. I love dogs.
What flat earthers we got in here I need a teammate over here. Who we got? Where's Free at?
Why? None of us need a teammate. What's your problem?
We know how y'all just rattle on and you don't ever get to any points. That's what we know.
Honestly, I
us.
usually need a teammate. I'm not very good in my
right into your back of your head.
Don't we notice that there's more ballers on there than there are flat earthers? Why? Hey, we know you don't believe. We know you don't believe it.
David, what just happened here? Do you realize what just happened here?
No, he's detached.
I don't know if he's realizing what just happened here just now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I don't want to be the one to tell him.
Come on, what other questions you got, Dave? Let's do it. I mean, yeah, is it? I think it is Rick. I was just on a hangout with Rick, and he suddenly disappeared, and now David's here, and he wouldn't talk on his hangout. It's really suspicious.
I don't want to hear this. I'm not Rick. I'm David. Now, come on.
Sorry.
I'm a truck driver over here.
That's just
what we're trying to do. See, y'all are trying to act like y'all know the answers to everything. And what we figured out over the last 4 debates is y'all really don't know hardly anything. You know, I mean, answers. Y'all have these pat answers that you read in your books.
What
we sure know about the equinox, though.
What questions?
What about the equinox? Go ahead. Let's hear your story of the equinox and how that works. Go ahead.
Which one? There's 6 of them.
All right, we'll go. That's what I'm saying.
All right, let me get into character here. Equinox. All right. Where on the flat Earth can everyone on the Earth, or in other words, how on your flat Earth map can everyone on the Earth see the sunrise due east, straight down the due east and west running street on the same day?
Because the Earth spins one time around, supposedly in your mind, in 24 hours. What are you talking about on the equinox? Everybody see it on the same day.
See, you don't even understand how the model works, do you? Play it in your head. The model, flat Earth.
I understand how it works.
Going around in circles.
Oh, let him explain how it works.
It's because the continents aren't lined up the way the map.
At the same time.
Can you show me this on one of your fake maps? Let's see one of your fake maps.
Yeah, I got it right now.
Maps.
I don't need a fake map
now.
You got fake maps. Yeah, you sure you do.
I got it right now.
Oh, there you go.
Here you go, David. Brenda's got it. Let's go. Tell him, Brenda.
That's the vernal equinox.
Vernal equinox. It's important you understand this clearly so that you can stop. Flat Earth parroting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then run around talking about how I stomped y'all and did this and that and this.
Hey, we just getting started here. We just got to let y'all get your mistakes.
Look at the screen, dude. You're just getting finished. You can't explain that.
He can't even get to the starting.
Not just getting started. You got started like when we finished you a long time ago, and you keep restarting like nothing ever happened. You have no shame, dude. That's what I thought. All right, who's next?
He doesn't understand lines of longitude.
He doesn't even know he's been debunked, like completely squashed right out of existence. Sorry.
He doesn't understand direction. He doesn't understand.
I'm not going to pound it into him or be rude about it.
We're looking at a 2D map on here. Either way, this isn't a 3D map.
Matter,
Equinox showing.
Yeah, it does. You can check, verify with anybody on the planet, dude. This is one of those things that you can't do in your world.
Does the sun ever vary the height that it is off the surface of the Earth?
Does I understand what you're saying, man.
Does the sun ever change
that doesn't solve the
No, the sun doesn't come from different angles, does it? Does it go in triangles? Does it have specific stop spots? There's no way for that to work on your flat map. Stationary.
Is the sun higher sometimes and lower other times on a flat Earth?
No way the sun can come exactly from the same direction for every viewer on the planet.
In the story,
we're moving around in a 360-degree circle.
The closer we get to the sun, the hotter it gets. And the equinox is in the summertime, right? So the sun will be the lowest to the ground.
Sun isn't moving for that. No, you're missing the whole point.
Isn't that what they say, though? That it gets hot.
The reason we know it, dude, is because you'd have a Nobel Prize for the answer. We're waiting on it.
It's amazing how much he doesn't know while he's declaring victory.
You hadn't heard me ring the bell yet. I'm going to get y'all here in a minute.
You can't. You've already lost. You don't even understand the geometric problem.
It's like a boxer who's been knocked out for 35 seconds, and he wakes up and he goes, all right, I'm ready. It's like, no, dude, the fight's over. You've been knocked out. You can't all of a sudden start the fight now. You're done. Good night. We'll see you next time.
Where's your map that shows the globe and your real map of the world? Let's see it.
Where's your map of the flat Earth that shows how the equinox
on my street.
works?
Ding ding, we knocked you out again. Neither one of us have a map. The flat earthers.
And I look down that street.
The flat earthers never claimed to have a map.
Straight down the street.
Hey,
it's like everyone else on the planet can on that same day.
Let me make this point, please. The equinox works on the globe, David.
Can I see a 2D map of this equinox, please?
No, because you can't make it.
Because you don't have the map. That's why.
You can't make a 2D map of it that works because it's a 3D globe.
Sure.
Show me a 3D globe.
Seriously, David, are you that simple?
Just show me one of those kind you can buy. Where's one we can all buy on
David?
See, the Globers could make $1 million right now. Show us a globe that's all the continents are the actual size on that little globe that you can buy and hold in your hand.
David,
where's that at?
David, where did flat Earth?
Are you one of those who thinks that those pictures of NASA mean that the continents are different sizes and they just messed up?
Why do you hate flat Earth so much that you try to?
I think he does. Badly. He hasn't realized how you can see more of the sphere the closer, and then, I mean, the further away you get.
I don't think that's what less of the sphere the closer you get. That's not what he asked, actually, Grim. What he said was, "Where can I get an accurate globe?" That's just, in essence, what he asked. I mean, I'd like one too. Yeah. So maybe I'll say, where can I go and buy a globe that's accurate?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you looked for one? Have you looked for one? Have either of you looked for one? Have you actually looked to buy one?
Solid, so I just tuned him out. The rest is country garble.
Google doesn't even have a picture of the Earth, the map of the world.
But David, have you looked for a globe to buy one? Have you looked to get one?
Man, I've looked on Google. All I got to do is go to Google.com and pull up world map, and every map is wrong. So what else you want me to tell you?
No, Google Earth is wrong. We did that yesterday. But I'm saying, have you looked for an accurate globe you can buy? Because I'm pretty sure someone's selling one.
I mean, if that's what y'all are cheerleading for, spinning ball, I think y'all would have them in every background of every picture of y'all on the internet here.
Well, there's one in my background in my picture on the internet right now.
Let's see it.
See it?
That's right.
Look, I'm pointing at it right now.
Go get it. Bring it up here and let's look at it. See it? You're not gonna pull it up here because we know it's fake too.
Well, they're all fake. They're maps.
How do you know it's fake, David? What are you comparing it to?
The continents will not be the right size and
How do you know
that, to one another.
David, how do you know that?
To just
David,
make
how do you know that?
An assertion, dude.
Yeah.
Of course they're not the right size. They're to scale.
David.
You think we're
what's your
you
point?
can fit a map of the US?
20 you guys act like 20. You got to remember, I'm a truck driver. 25,000 miles isn't nothing. Okay.
It's not a life-size globe,
David.
Do you know how far a truck driver could drive in a month?
Want to see my life-size model of the globe?
You want to see? You know how far a team can go in a month?
Hey, you're not listening to me. You want to see my life-size model of the globe, bro? Go outside, right outside your front door. Step on the ground. There's a life-size model of the globe right underneath your feet.
Utter embarrassment. How do you know the globe is inaccurate, David? And if so, by how much? How do you know?
All I have to do, I'm a truck driver, man. I know how far a mile is, okay? Do you know how it takes you about 60 seconds and 60 miles an hour, okay?
I don't care what you are, David.
You're rolling, okay? You got the hammer down and you head down the freeway, okay? Where's the curve at?
David,
you guys try to say people riding upside down all over the world. Where are they at? They're riding upside down in the earth spinning 1,000 miles an hour.
David, why are you hiding from the question? Why are you dodging it?
I am. We're gonna do it again tonight. I can already tell.
David, where is your evidence that the globe is wrong, David?
It's just like he pulls that equinox still up, but the map that he's showing it on isn't even correct.
David,
the map,
the
map that you're showing the equinox on.
He's that dumb. He's actually that dumb.
Hey, I like comic books. I know about I know about cartoons.
They're showing you that the equinox.
But do you know about your street outside your house, the east and west running street that's not a cartoon?
Yeah, everything runs east to west. We already know that. All the planes go off the east coast to the west coast. You never see anything go over the North Pole
at all, are you?
You don't see anything go over the North Pole.
He doesn't.
You're not listening, are you?
Taking information. His mind is made up. He just wants to be wrong.
It's blocked out, right? Yeah, yeah. Do you hear when I'm saying, Dave? When I'm saying go outside, find an east and west running street.
I just watched the sun come up and go down. I don't have to do that. I already know about it.
Listen, he's going to interrupt every time I talk. I'm not going to play the frantic, let me get my word in crap. You know what I mean?
We've been joined by Channel Q. Good to have you here, Channel Q.
You sound like an older man too. You shouldn't be doing that.
Like I said, this is a debate. This isn't the flat earthers are coming on here to shut y'all down. This isn't
not a debate, dude. It's over. You didn't see the equinox hit you in the side of your in the east side of your head. It's over.
Yeah, if we can just say a quick hello to Channel Q.
Show me a map.
Sorry,
of
David.
The world, please.
Just bear with me 1 second. Can we say a quick hello to Channel Q? How are you doing, Channel Q?
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So who's the other flat earther in here? Is there any other flat earthers in here?
No, it's just you, man. I think like a lot of flat earthers don't want to come in here because you're losing the debate really badly. Sorry, that's a low blow. Sorry. But yeah, anyway, what other questions you got, Dave? Let's go. Flat Earth debate.
You hadn't answered any of the other ones.
Well, hang on. You wanted to know where you can get a globe. Do you want me to find you a globe? Shall I look one up on Amazon?
Why can't you just show me a map with the continents?
We showed you
the correct ratio. Why can't you just show me that?
No, we did. We did. We showed you one yesterday, Dave.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we brought one up. Do you remember Kurt brought it up on the link, and that's one with accurate continents.
You know how you
get a clever way of putting all the continents to kind of scale.
I know that y'all like using those maps that you look up on your phone and stuff like that. But did any of y'all actually use a real map that you hold in your hands? Has anybody ever done that?
Well, Google Maps.
I'm talking about like a map, like the map that you used to buy at the store, and they were $3.95, $1.25. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't need that to be to scale.
And you pull it out, right? And it says scale.
Traveling maps for road.
One inch is 200 miles, right?
Road maps.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Roads.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? We gave you a scale to scale map where the as best they could, they put all
as best they could. That's the whole point. That's why y'all keep losing. I don't know that y'all need to hurry up and come up with a map. I've been trying to explain to you how easy it is.
We've got a map. We have a map and a model. Why would we have to come up with a map and you don't have a map?
Okay, just like I get,
show me where your map is.
Like I get a map.
Let's see your map.
Yeah, but David,
the map of Texas.
What we're saying about how you?
Why don't I see any complete photos of the flat Earth?
Anybody can.
If I were to say some of your arguments to you, reverse them, you would be like, "That sounds so dumb. How am I supposed to have a map? How am I supposed to have a model? You don't even have a model. You don't have a working model."
I do have a flat map of North and South America. So you
don't have a reason why the moon phases happen. You don't have a reason why the sun is in the location that it's in.
The United States is mapped correct.
The
United States is mapped mile for mile correct.
You're in front of the sun too, don't you?
No, but David, can I ask you a question, right? Do you not remember what our reason for not being able to have an accurate map of a globe is? Do you remember what the reason is that we gave you yesterday?
Okay, let me ask you this question.
No, you can't ask. Dave, I'm asking you the question. Do you remember our reason? Just say no if you don't. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
It's not about remembering what you said.
You don't remember the reason. Just say
it is about
okay, I'm not interested.
That's what the question is about. The question is about you remembering what they said yesterday.
Yeah, because we're not going to play Pete and repeat every day with you, dude.
Answer the
because
question.
You don't want me to tell you how to do it, and see when I tell you how to do it, well, we can't do it.
Answer the question.
You take a map of Texas, correct?
No, why can't you? Why can't
1 inch is 200 miles. 200 miles is 1 inch.
David, let's see a map. For a question, we asked you one.
Let's see a map of the world to scale to 1 inch to 200 miles.
David,
and put on the floor or on a wall. I don't care. Let's see your map.
David, what I'm trying to remind you is that we told you the answer to this, and I'm asking you if you remember us.
I'm not talking about the water. I told you I don't need to know about the water. I don't need to know about the sun. I don't need to know about the stars.
David, why is it hard to put a globe onto a 2D map? Why is it hard to put something that's on a ball onto a 2D map? Do you remember?
Man, I'm not worried.
I'm pretty much giving you the answer.
The main thing we're doing here is we're proving that you don't have a map of the ball. Okay, that's what we're doing.
No, we do have a map. We even gave you one.
No, you don't. You show
exactly like you are.
David, on the website. And everybody even debunked the one he pulled up.
He didn't. We didn't.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. Really sorry.
We debunked it. We debunked it 100%.
David, sorry. We've been joined by two new... Grim, hold on.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
We've been joined by two new guests. David, for crying out loud, just hold your tongue. Sorry. We've been joined by two new guests, Vegan Warrior Live and Uncensorship Hero. Have I said that right? I can't see it from this distance.
Hey,
Unconscious, sorry. Just beyond my kid's playpen. Unconscious Hero and Vegan Warrior Live, good to have you both here. We've also been joined by I Am Rick. Perfect timing. If you can all say a quick hello.
Oh, yes. Rick and Dave at the same time.
Can we say hello to I Am
Rick? Is Rick a flat earther or what?
David, I'm really sorry, David. All I've got to do, David, to stop you being sniped out by some arsehole, I need to check that they are actually real guests. So please, can you just need to get through this little bit? It'll take 2 seconds if I just can get you all to just keep quiet, just so I can check that they're real people. That's all I need to do. So can I just have a quick hello from Unconsciousness, please?
Hello, my name is Unconscious Hero. You might know me from some videos on YouTube, such as the one where I claim that I've seen Ireland when it actually wasn't. It's the Isle of Man. Thank you very much.
Good to have you here, Unconsciousness. And if we can also have a quick hello.
Hey, how you doing?
And just say a quick hello to Vegan as well.
You just fucking...
No swearing.
That was funny.
Can you say hello, Vegan?
Hey, what's going on?
Good to have you here. And last but not least, I Am Rick. If you can just say a quick hello.
I'm real, and I'm a big Dave supporter.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for bearing with me.
Shout, Rick.
So now, what's the reason you can't take a map off of a ball and put it on a flat surface?
Because of the equinox.
Because the map is flat.
The equinox breaks it every time.
But Dave, so if you don't want to understand the point, that's fine. What about Vegan? Do you understand the point, Vegan, that we're making?
it's not always about. Well, of course, I think we all understand the points because we all had to go through school and learn science, basic science. It's all about agreement. Do we agree with it or do we not agree with it? I think that's the real issue here. I mean, it's not necessarily about stupidity or some of the statements that I hear quite often in these debates. It's all about accepting and not accepting.
Oh, they're shills. No, most of them are just shills anyway. So we gonna whoop up on them anyway. We don't care.
I'm not sure.
Really? Are you really going to insinuate that I'm a shill?
Truth is not about agreement. Truth is not agreement.
Absolutely.
But seriously, I'm trying to make the point to Dave here. So, but vegan, you understand the point that if you say peel an orange, you couldn't lay that spherical orange peel back out onto a table and have it represented accurately, right? You'd understand there would be distortions and things like that. It's very hard for you to take a spherical object and lay that on a 2D map.
It depends on how far you shrink it
down.
I'm
asking vegan. I'm asking vegan.
Well, no, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think you could lay it flat and piece it together.
Yeah, but you'd have to be doing it, you'd have to do it cleverly, right? If you say drew a pattern on the orange and you wanted to make that pattern represent that pattern that you've drawn around your orange on a 2D surface, now you want to peel it off and do it, you'd have to get a bit creative, wouldn't you? Which is what some of these maps are. That's why they have
mile is a mile on an orange
triangles that have over 180 degrees in them. How is that?
It's only 25,000 miles. You guys act like we're on a 200,000 mile Earth or 10,000.
We got to let vegan think about this. It's important because
to give him some thinking time. We've been joined by Mr. Nutt.
Dave got you there.
Can I just say a quick hello to Mr. Nutt? How are you doing?
Hello, how's it going? I'm here to learn about flat Earth.
Excellent. Very good to have you here.
So Grim had it correct in that on a sphere, a triangle has more than 360 degrees. The angles add up to more than
180. Yeah.
180 degrees, and on a flat plane, they equal exactly 180. So you could never. It is absolutely impossible to take a segment of a sphere and place it on a flat plane without there being some distortion.
A mile is a mile on land. We're not talking about the water here, okay? You want to talk about the water. We're talking about the land here.
We're not talking about the water either.
Yeah, Grim
the land, correct. Guys, not the water. Listen to Dave.
No,
it's the land. We've got maps of the land that are set mile for mile, how far it is from one point to another. So I don't know what y'all are talking about.
40 grit. Gotcha. Really rough sandpaper.
Another point. Yes. Ding ding. Another knockout.
Can't see that finesse. So they go on through life thinking they're the smoothest shit on earth.
The reason why they're trying to explain to you that you can't take a map and draw it on an orange and then lay it out in a 2D representation accurately without distortion is because you claim that we do not have a map or model. And this is why we do not have a accurate to your standard map or model, because we have to take a map or model from a 3-dimensional sphere shape and flatten it into a 2D shape, and that causes some amount of distortion.
Do you agree that there's a map of the
United States? It has nothing to do with what...
Is there a map?
I agree that somebody drove from. I agree somebody drove from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they know exactly how many miles that is. I agree, but that has nothing to do with whether or not we have an accurate map and model of the sphere for which that state is located.
Why wouldn't you?
Country or
continent. Why wouldn't you? They're hiding it from you. See, that's how blind you are.
Nobody is hiding anything from you. You are hiding things from yourself, maybe.
Sure,
yes,
I am.
Thank you. That makes much more sense.
Move on.
Where is the map?
You're hiding stuff from yourself.
This is 2 days of this.
Like
this is 2 days of this. Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. Okay, geodetic surveying reveals that the angles of the measured triangle exceed 180 degrees, proving that the Earth is curved. This is called spherical excess. If the Earth was flat, the angles would add up to 180 degrees.
But that's not a triangle.
You can verify
that's a curve. That's not a triangle, though.
Yeah, it is. All three of those angles are
it's got curved sides.
No,
that's not a triangle.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's 3-sided that makes it a triangle.
Not only is it 3-sided, but all three of those angles
sides are curved.
are equal, that makes it a right triangle.
Excuse me. All three of those,
because they're on a sphere. This is representing a sphere here, man.
Man, it doesn't matter. Mountains don't make a difference on how far it is from the east coast to the west coast. The miles sticking up out of the ground had nothing to do with any of that.
That's not a depiction of mountains sticking up out of the ground. That's a picture of a triangle drawn on the side of a sphere.
There's sea level on both sides, right?
It's on a flat piece
What we
of
tried to
paper.
explain to you now, if you take a good representation on a globe, right, and then you take you draw 3 lines, intersect them together, which would make a triangle on a flat plane. You take 3 lines and you put them together by their ends, and you have a triangle. Same with this, but you do it on a sphere, and then you cut your sphere and put it on cut your sphere open and make it a flat plane, and then see how your triangle is now going to be a little distorted when you lay it down. It isn't going to look like that. It's going to look really odd and extremely bulbous and round, because now it is what do you call it? Manipulated improperly. Now it's the reason why we can't have a perfectly flat map that demonstrates exactly. That's why we have to have globes, so we can demonstrate more accurately our land masses. That's it.
Do you understand there's only 7 continents? You understand that, right?
See what I mean?
Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Europe, and Antarctica.
It doesn't have to do with what he just said about the triangle.
www.flatearthdeception.com.
Just show me a picture where all those continents are on one wall.
www.flatearthdeception.com.
Where they're at 0 to 200 miles and they're all pasted on a wall.
www.flatearthdeception.com.
There ain't one.
They've got y'all on that one.
That's all I got to say. Any question you have, www.flatearthdeception.com.
Do it up to 500 miles. I don't care. 1 inch is 500 miles.
So you think that it's possible for somebody to get far enough away from the Earth and yet still be able to photograph all the continents on it at the same time?
No, I just want you to get some of that cardboard paper, and I don't care. You just do it 0 to 200 miles.
Huge ass camera
and make them the scale and paste them on the wall.
Hey, all I ask you to do is step outside and go look down
in order to satisfy your.
You want me to build a rocket? Come on.
I just know there's no map. I just know you don't have a map.
If you did, was to go down on
don't know that we don't have a map. What you're doing is you're taking the map that we do have and denying it, because
let's see a picture of your globe. Where is the picture of your globe?
We don't have one. It's that you say that we do not have one. That is the more accurate, honest truth.
Okay, I ain't seen anybody pull it up and say, David, here is our map of the world.
Again,
everything on it is correct, and here's the ball that you live on, and here's how everything works. Let's see your ball and everything works.
Every night of the week you do this, dude, and you never save or bookmark any of the links we give you, so we're not doing it for you again.
Oh yeah, you show all y'all show
me a real debater up here, a master debater.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember how long it took me to figure out Google Earth? Don't make me do that again, please.
No,
please
we don't want to pull out because we know that's wrong. We figured that out last night.
No, we actually proved it was right. Like Riley got.
They don't want to pull it out because they've already done it before, and it's not good enough for you, and it's never good enough for you, and you don't do it for yourself.
When you got to spin it around 5 times just to get around.
Yeah, dude, you do not understand that. It's about how much you spin the ball. It doesn't.
Can you tell me after 500 years y'all don't have just even a
dude, I can spin the ball like 100 times with one spin if I did a free spin.
Where's the 2D map that's kind of accurate? Do you even have a 2D map that's kind of accurate? Do you even have that?
A 2D representation of a 3D sphere is not going to be accurate in all.
Not going to be kind of accurate.
You don't understand this. It's insane.
That happened.
Mm-hmm. How can you not grasp that point, man? Come on, you must get the point.
Because there's only 7 continents, and I've never seen all 7 continents on one wall in ratio to each other in the exact way that they should be shown. They don't show it to you that way. Why do they not show it to you that way?
No, there's not a wall big enough.
You gotta keep looking.
Map of the globe on. Sorry.
Okay, it's
and
reached
I
the
showed
point where
you a map that has the land masses accurately depicted.
We've covered this point now at nausea, so can we move on? I mean, I know Vegan Warrior sat there patiently waiting to get a word in. Maybe
we beat this subject to death the other night.
All in favor for Equinox, say aye.
Aye.
Just move on to anything else.
I was going to say I don't normally take requests, but Negus said, "Can we hear from Vegan?" David, please. I'm not
because it's the level of the sea.
We've had the same map point a few times now, so can we move on a little bit? And Vegan hasn't joined and hasn't said a word since he's been here, so if we could hear something from Vegan, I'd be very grateful.
He said a couple things, but
Well, I don't like to argue subjective stuff that's intangible. My question to the globe earthers is, are you aware that science has abandoned the scientific method in relation to discussing outer space? Are you aware of that?
Oh yeah, I'm a
Do you have
plasma
a source?
cosmology.
Do you have a source for that?
Mm-hmm.
Could I say that? Like, my answer to that would be flat earthers.
Scientific method.
Yeah, I would say flat earthers have abandoned the scientific method with everything we're trying to explain.
There's a problem in the standard model of cosmology. A lot of what they call settled science isn't settled science.
Mr. Oakley, can I share my?
Doesn't mean the Earth is flat. Oh, don't make me look at this guy. This is like
you're presenting. You go ahead. If you can just make it full screen, if you can.
It's only going to be about 30 seconds.
Yeah, if you can just make it full screen, please.
This is the comment. This is the comment.
Copyright.
Who is this? Michio Bukaku?
This is not copyright.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're fair use. We're going to discuss it. So, but if you can make it full screen, please.
Okay.
All right. About 5 seconds back.
Oh dear.
I know. This guy's an idiot, by the way.
It's one of your top scientists.
Italians.
And who's the founder of it? You're not going to believe this. In science, we always say that you make observations, theory, you can go make more observations, and it's a very, very tedious process. Wrong. Nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method. In our field, it's by the seat of your pants. It's leaps of logic. It's guesswork. And in 1968, string theory was found by accident. Veneziano and Suzuki were looking through a map.
Only point I wanted to make is science openly admits that when it comes to cosmology and the study of the stars, they do not apply the scientific method. Now,
do you have proof of that? Do you have proof of that?
But I think it'd be good
that are tangible. Things that are tangible, such as
you have proof of your claim.
No, what you should do is answer what he's saying.
I'm gonna pause. So go ahead. You can make your statement.
Well, I was going to say, like, I understand the point you're making there with that video, but from my understanding, I don't know anything about these guys yet. But they're into the theoretical science stuff, aren't they? It's like that is their job, is to make wild leaps of logic. That's what he's talking about. He's not saying all of science is not as abandoned the scientific method. It's just he's saying everyone I know and what he's doing.
Yeah, it's not fair to say that one video, that one statement encompasses all of science.
Well, I don't know that.
He's a theoretical physicist. It says right there in the title.
Miko speaks for all of science. I mean, that's just an argument from authority. It's fallacious. Vegan Warrior's argument is fallacious.
It's okay. Well, it's really vacuous.
Anything, because you guys overtalk me when I start speaking. So go ahead and get it all out before I speak.
Sorry. No, we did. Sorry.
Well, I hope you understood what was just said, though, because that's what's happening.
But I'm not.
You're just pointing to
one man's statement.
Yeah,
this is just science speaking. This is one man speaking.
And he's a theoretical. His field.
He's
theoretical physics.
And I said, I'm not arguing. Grim, right. I'm not arguing one side or the other. I'm just saying this is one person speaking. His name is not science.
That's right.
This is a cherry pick. This is a cherry picked example. And I'm not disagreeing with his point. I'm not agreeing with his point. The point is not made. You've got video of one person saying something. That's it. So go ahead, Vegan.
I actually agree with his point, right? But I have better evidence for the point.
That's okay.
That's not good evidence.
That's subjective. Everybody can have their opinion about what he's saying.
So not where I'm coming from. That's a better place than coming from a place where you think I don't agree with your point. Because, like I said, gravity-based theories are broken. Observations is
that's not the issue here. That's not the issue.
Well, it is an issue, which
This is about Vegan's fallacy.
It's an issue that's
This is Vegan's fallacy.
I mean, it's part of the argument, isn't it?
This is Vegan's fallacy.
Go vegan, go.
Oh, I can speak now? Thank you. The point I was trying to express is that theoretical science has abandoned the scientific method. Now, we all know that true science and natural sciences cannot abandon the scientific method. Before you build a building, for example, it's tested, it's ran through all types of strenuous tests, all based on the scientific method. But when we start talking about what's up in outer space and the ideas of outer space, they are all coming to us from theoretical perspectives, absent the scientific method. Now you can challenge my point.
Yeah,
your claim, you haven't supported your claim. You simply made a claim.
Yeah.
So
you need to, the way argument works, is you make a claim. The way argument works is you make a claim, and then you provide a support for your claim. You've simply stated categorically that science has abandoned, that cosmology has abandoned the scientific method, and you have failed. You have failed to show how it has done that. It is false.
You've already graded my point and given me an F.
Well, yes. I thought what he actually said was
that you do that without first checking to see if what I'm saying is true.
Because your argument is fallacious.
I just showed you that as an example. I just showed you that
argument is invalid. No, you didn't.
Again,
you didn't prove anything. Again,
you just want to argue to argue. Go ahead.
Okay, but how have they abandoned the scientific method? In what way?
How
what
do you
are
apply
they doing that they should be doing, or what are they not doing that they shouldn't be doing?
Well, I want to stay on a particular point. We have a scientific method
argument for him.
Well, what you said was the same thing. You said
I'm not going to abandon. Go ahead, make your points. I'll be quiet. Let me know when it's my.
Sorry,
I will. Thanks. Okay, since you're gonna lean in and do that, that's
sorry. I did want to say I thought you answered in your first sentence because you said theoretical science has abandoned the scientific method. They're theoretical. They're making things up that are later tested by the scientific method. But they've got to think of the ideas. That's their job, isn't it? That's how I understand it as a layman.
Well, he's applying it also to astronomy itself, and astronomy is based on hypothesis and experimentation. He's simply flat out wrong, and he has failed to provide any evidence for his claim. That's how logic works. You make a claim, and then you provide evidence to support your claim. Vegan Warrior has completely failed to provide any evidence for his claim.
And by you stating it, it makes it true?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's logic. Because logical fallacies.
What Brenda says or Brian says is true.
No, it's because it's logically fallacious. It's not because I said it. It's because you made an invalid argument, right? So if you say, if you say 2 + 2 = 3, if you said 2 + 2 = 3,
so you already have precondition of drawing a conclusion before even thinking into what I'm stating here. My question here is, are they applying, or my statement here is, they are not applying the scientific method with a lot of the scientific claims that you guys are arguing about.
Fine. What is your evidence? What is your evidence? What is your evidence? What is your evidence? What evidence do you have to support that?
You have to go back and listen to what your scientists are telling you.
That's one guy.
It's that simple. I've taken the time. See, I don't assume that everything a scientist says based on a scientific.
That's called an argument from authority and fallacious.
The method, again, you're talking while I'm talking. You go ahead.
And what is he talking about?
You might need to do more listening than talking if you're going to ever get anywhere with this. So, for instance, a theoretical mathematician or a theoretical physicist, they don't work with the tangible. So they're never using the scientific method for their inventions and thought inventions and stuff.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Grimv. Hope you are all enjoying the debate thus far in the live audience. If you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a link to Super Chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, I say that, there's 10 people on the panel at the moment, but when someone drops, if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click on the link in the info box below this video to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, and if you do get ejected, please do not try to rejoin the show with sock accounts. You will be warmly welcomed back on the next show. If you've not done so already, please share the show on social media, and once more, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
So it's right there in the title, theoretical physicists. I mean, it's aliens, you know.
We ought to be able to do it mile for mile, shouldn't we? Why hadn't somebody shown us this curve? I've never seen anybody go over the North Pole and the compass start turning the opposite direction of my back.
He fell off. Who was left? And then Dave comes in, says that again.
Dude, the North Pole would be the same on the flat Earth or the round the globe Earth, wouldn't it? It would be the North Pole.
What we're trying to prove here is there's a lot of things that y'all don't know, okay? And what you try to do is you sit up here and convince us that we're living on a spinning ball, and you can't prove that either.
Nathan has tried to tell you to not go back to things we've talked about because you
I'm not going back. I'm going back to talk about how y'all say that you can prove all these things, but you don't prove nothing.
Well, what's the next question?
You pick something, but there's no difference between the globe and the flat Earth.
How do you know the moon and the sun aren't the same size? How do you know that?
Good question.
You can tell that they're by the angles and positions of where they are that they're not the same size.
Yeah, the distance is very different.
It's like the angle you stick your finger up your nose with.
Oh, that's real mature, David. I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah,
that's a big question. That's what we had the eclipse just not too long ago.
Yeah, eclipse.
It seems like you just got a very intellectual answer to a very good question, and then you responded by saying "stick your finger up your nose," which implies that you might be a child.
Dude, how does the eclipse work if they're the same size?
At an early age, like preteen or.
How are the phases of the moon done? Are they done by the shadow?
No, you asked the question. One question. If they're the same size, how does the eclipse work?
Right.
Because it can't be if it goes in front of it. It can't be the same size.
They'd have to be almost the exact same size, wouldn't they?
So they're very close, but the sun's just a bit.
That's common sense. See, y'all don't like common sense. Y'all try to beat the common sense out of people.
No,
y'all must have been those guys. Y'all must have been those guys where everybody got a trophy. Is that how many of y'all did that?
You literally don't have common sense.
Can you eclipse the sun and the moon with your finger? Can you put your finger up in front of your eyes, in front of the sun and the moon, and eclipse the moon and the sun with your finger?
I can stick my hand, my arm, a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. That's not.
Is your hand, your arm the same size as the sun?
My hand's not 240,000 supposed miles from my face either.
It should be.
Yeah, it's blocking out the sun.
That's basically what you're saying about
how are the phases of the moon done? Is it done by the shadow of the Earth?
Dude, no.
You've got to be kidding me.
Google these questions.
Not at all.
It's done by the shadow of the moon.
No,
the Earth has nothing to do with the phases of the moon.
How the Earth has nothing? So how are the phases of the moon caused?
Only because of your perspective from the Earth are the phases of the moon.
If the sun and the moon are out at the same time, but one of them's at 2 o'clock and one of them's at 10 o'clock, straight above your head, how come the moon's not full?
Good God! Because of the.
Are you kidding right now?
Because
explain it to him.
Because the sun is to the side of the moon, and so it's only illuminating one side.
How do you know the moon's a ball? Because they told you that. How do you know that?
But how do you think I know?
You think they landed on the moon?
But you can't keep asking questions, David. You got to stick to the question you ask.
You got to listen to the answers.
Just listen to the answer because you're not remembering the answers, and you're looking.
So you ask again tomorrow again. And
go ahead. How are the phases
tomorrow, David? Go ahead. It's going to be a quiz.
Go ahead and tell me how the phases of the moon are done.
If it wasn't by the shadow of the Earth, can you explain what you see?
Do you know how many people were taught that the phases of the moon were done by the shadow of the Earth? Do you know how many kids in this
Nobody should have been taught.
No one should have ever been taught that.
No.
Do you know how many children we're talking
I was not
about?
raised in Kentucky.
Do you know how many?
How many children, David? How many? How many?
Probably all of the United States prior to 1950.
Well, how many people are on this panel
No one
that just
ever
said that
was
they
taught
weren't taught
that in the
that we're
United
one
I
States.
was never taught that.
Not
was
ever
never
since the
taught that.
history of the
So
United
how many
States.
children now, David?
So how are the
taught that.
phases? So how are the phases done? How
That's
are they
a lie.
done? You're
He
telling me
just
the
told
angle,
you.
the
Why don't
angle
you
of the
ask
sun?
Google, David? Why don't you ask Google?
Can you
And then when you
prove that?
figure out what Google tells you, come tell us what you think is wrong about it.
No, yeah.
You've got to at least know our argument to come into a debate. You don't even know anything about the other side of the argument.
No, I know that you can't answer any questions.
No, I could argue, David.
No, we can
for flat
answer
Earth,
all
but
of those
you
questions.
can't argue for
dude.
ball Earth, which means you don't know the other side of the argument.
David, you were given an
Exactly.
answer.
We're
You were
going back to
given
that
an answer,
theoretical
David.
stuff. This is stuff
David, you
that's
were
dreamed
given
up,
an
okay?
answer, David.
It has
You
not
were
been
given
proven.
an answer. You didn't listen to
can't
the answer, David, because you're too busy running that mouth. Unconscious gave an answer to you. He gave you an answer. And for you to sit here and claim once again that we can't answer your questions is absolutely disingenuous and disgusting.
So you're standing outside in the
You have no
I'm
integrity.
gonna go back like he told me. I need to go outside
no
and I look down the
integrity
street east
whatsoever.
to west, right? And the sun comes is at about 10 o'clock, and I'm looking south, and the moon's at 2 o'clock. Okay, how come the moon's not full?
Because the entirety of it is not illuminated.
We just told you that.
Tell
The
him
moon
again.
and
Tell him
sun
again.
are on
Listen,
the opposite
listen.
sides of the earth to get a full moon. The sun and moon have to be on opposite sides to get a full moon, where you can see the full surface that we see be illuminated. It's that simple. Why don't you get it?
It's like if I hold the flashlight under my chin, or if I hold it directly in front of my face, or somebody holds it towards me a few feet away from me.
Have you done any experiments to test this with a flashlight and a ball just to demonstrate
one
the
of them's
concept?
96 million miles away, and the other one's 230,000 miles away, but it doesn't light the whole ball up. Yeah, right. It just does a little sliver of it.
David,
but it lights the whole
nothing.
world up. But it lights the whole world up.
Listen to the stupidity of what you just said.
It's lighting up the
Doesn't
dark side
light
of the moon, right?
whole
The dark
ball
Respond to these, these legitimate, intelligent answers like a child. You really do.
How come the moon doesn't spin? Wouldn't it make sense if the Earth was spinning, the moon would be spinning? And now you're gonna go tell me that the waves, the waves of the Earth are keeping the orbit.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We tell you that the moon rotates once per revolution around the Earth, once per orbit. It rotates.
Actually, it's very slightly, not quite exactly.
Here's the thing. Wait, let me please say this.
Knockout
please,
again.
Can I just say this? Here's the thing, David, is we didn't tell you any of this that you are coming at us with. You know who told you this? Jaron, Mark Sargent.
No, they've never come up with any of these questions. You've never heard this on any of these shows. This is the first time any of these things have been brought up.
We don't say that.
Okay, I don't think for me. I think for myself. I'm an independent flat earther.
Shut up.
Dude,
They told you that that's what we say. They told you that that's what we say, but it's not what we say. So now you can see the evidence of how misinformed you are, because you've listened to these people who misrepresent everything they say. That comes out of their mouth is a misrepresentation of people that they do not know, that they have not researched, and subjects that they have no.
Nathan, have you ever heard this conversation on any show you've ever listened to?
David, be quiet.
Dude, shut up.
And it's all hearsay. It is things that you sat on YouTube and hypnotized yourself into memorizing to a point, and now you are attacking people who are innocent, that you don't know, who are giving you significant, intelligent, and honest answers that you just will not accept. Thank you.
Yeah, tell him.
I think he's a disruptor. I think he deliberately disrupts the stream.
I do too. You're just disrupting. You're being rude, David. You just talk over everyone. You don't remember our answers, so you're not listening. We listen to your questions. We try and answer. And when we try and answer, you jump in with a new question. So you're not interested in. So you're not interested in the truth. You're not interested in our side of the argument, which means you're not interested in anything really. Because if you can't see both sides of something, how can you make a decision on anything? You're just watching propaganda videos and going by that. You're brainwashed.
You've never heard this conversation on any other show. All these are my own ideas. Do you understand that?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
We hear this
crap
all the time.
Sure they are. Sure they are. Sure they are.
And we've determined that to be a lie.
David, you're ridiculous, dude. Watch this video and learn something, David.
It won't sink in. It won't matter at all.
Don't condemn it, Brenda.
He's completely indoctrinated.
One flat earther here. Nathan, you got to come in here and give me
a video,
David.
David, look at the video. Now you're understanding the point we're making.
You want that light bulb to light up the entire.
Here we go. Here we go to light bulbs now.
Do you want the bulb to illuminate the entire sphere?
You can't prove the Earth's a ball. How in the heck are you going to prove the moon?
What is the sun? Is the sun a light source, or is it
the moon never switched sides, so you can't prove that it's a ball.
David,
what is the sun?
Hear this, okay?
Dude, what's the sun?
The sun is life, man. That's what the sun is.
Does the sun emit light?
Look, first quarter moon. Your head is Earth, David. As it rotates, look.
So what's rotating?
Gibbous moon.
The Earth.
The moon is orbiting around the light bulb, dude.
This is the model, dude.
But the moon revolves around the Earth, so it's he's revolving it around his head. He needs to revolve it around his head the other way. You would have to look at the back side of the ball if you look at it.
Look, there's
two. You're not looking at
it.
It's from the wrong direction.
Dave, shut up. Look at the bottom of the screen.
You got to put the sun on the other side, man. What do you people think? People stupid over here?
Why, Dave?
Why do you put the sun on the other side?
Just like that. You see that?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, you can't
don't even watch it. You just talk over the whole thing and say, "Oh, you got to do something else." Like you fucking know. Like you know.
Like something's messed up. Nothing's messed up here, Dave.
No swearing, please. Q.
That's how you do the phases of the moon, dude. Real simple for yourself. I didn't ask you to go build a rocket.
You can't show us a map of the world, but you can show us how the
build a rocket.
That demonstration was flawed. The moon did not go on the other side of the light bulb.
You missed it because you're too busy saying it's wrong. You won't even hear it.
The moon has to go on the other side of the light bulb, according to Riley.
Well, that would be in 6 months. Because that's on our model.
No, it's
that
a joke.
Would take 6 months to be on the other side of the sun.
Graham, it's a joke about Riley claiming the moon goes behind the sun during eclipse. That's all. That's all. Just a joke.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear any of that. Got dishes going on in here.
So he's back to the map argument that he doesn't understand. So there's no point.
Map.
Here's something else that he's not going to understand. Wow, this is fantastic. Is there an intelligent flat earther out there that is willing to join?
Isn't that an oxymoron?
Yeah, it's a sarcastic question, but somebody who can pretend to be intelligent. Or how about that blonde? Get that blonde in here. Dimming. That's what they're doing to the population of
dimming.
The Earth. So now that you've asked us these questions, Dave, what's your explanation for that on a flat Earth?
He has none.
Don't have one. There is
He's
one.
asking questions and can't answer any.
I don't know.
It's hilarious.
I know. Every time I ask a question, I get banned from a channel.
Yeah, I'm banned.
Explain to me. I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, what else is there to do after this, right? After Flat Earth is dead.
Well, there's some pretty disturbing child channels. Need to be flagged.
Better start looking. Better start planning, guys, for something because it's going down.
Well, could go back to chemtrails.
What knows y'all's game over here? Quit acting like somebody doesn't know y'all's game.
Yeah.
What game is that, dude?
He doesn't know.
Just don't make the claim that we're playing a game. Tell us what it is.
What's my game, dude?
It's called Muddy in the Waters. It's called Muddy in the Waters.
Which waters
Muddying the waters in what way? What way are we muddying what water?
You don't have any answers for anything. You just say you do.
You can't even ask people wrong on the question.
That's
and
you.
Have you ever even seen my channel, dude? have you been there yet?
Next thing you'll be telling us we live in a simulation. Theoretical and simulation would be kind of the same thing, wouldn't it?
I would not tell you that.
Not a big fan of the simulation.
It could still be simulated, and it could still be a ball, but simulated.
Yeah,
it's
definitely a ball.
Simulation out.
Just because it's a simulation doesn't mean it's flat.
Yeah. Not a simulation either.
Are you?
So wait, it could be a simulation. Now, is it? Okay, so what is it now then?
I'll make up my mind already.
Is it a flat plane on a moon, and we're just on a flat plane on the moon? But we're on the moon, which is a ball.
What is the baller's number one proof they live on?
So we've just been joined by quite a few new guests in the live audience. So thank you very much for being here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this show, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the panel to express your views on the shape of the Earth, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click that link to join the show and express your views. There are only a couple of rules. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. Number two, if you are ejected, please don't try to rejoin the show using sock accounts. If you've not done so already, please share the show. And once more, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
If I go south,
wow, already. Okay, next.
If I go south, I can go in a straight line pretty much all the way down past Mexico. Then I've got another 6,000 miles to the bottom of South America. Okay. The point being is those stars are not going to change into some other situation when you get there. You lie about all that.
Oh my God! Have you ever traveled and looked at the sky at the same time? Have you compared?
Yes. You always got to start
where you were and where you went.
This is where we had this discussion because y'all have no proof. See, what we're trying to do here is y'all are supposed to have proof to show these things.
David, we have a world full of proof of this. Your proof is simply to deny what everybody throughout the world can observe. That's it. That's all you have. Denial.
So you observe it. So you're telling me you observe it when you get in the truck and you drive to South America. These stars are automatically going to start doing something different.
No, it's a gradual progression as you move.
Thank you.
You're going to move in a different direction as soon as you turn around. Do you not realize that I can see from my location in the northern hemisphere? I can see stars that are in the southern celestial sphere. Do you not realize that? So could you. So could you. From Dallas or wherever in Texas you claim to be, you can see stars rotating in the southern celestial sphere, and they will be rotating clockwise.
So have you ever seen a person go in a straight line and come around and go around and come out the other side? Have you ever seen anybody do that? On all of YouTube and all the billions of people on the earth, have you ever seen somebody videotape themselves going around the world in one direction over the North Pole and coming back to the same point they're at? Have you ever seen anybody do that?
But what was David? How much time would that take?
No,
hey, if you were a billionaire and you had all the money in the world, why wouldn't you do it?
He's trying to get off the point here.
Keep him on the point. Keep him on the point. On the point, David.
David, as you drive south, you're going to have new stars rise above the horizon, come into view.
You made my point.
How is that going to happen on the flat Earth, David?
You can only see so far, man.
No, David.
Your eyes can only see so far. A telescope can only see so far when in one position. Okay, you can only see so far north.
They continually rotate clockwise.
How do you as far as light can travel, my friend?
So how do you have clockwise rotation around the southern celestial pole, David?
That's one of your guys' number one points. Is that all of your?
Hang on, you can't debunk it though, can you? Because it's the number one point.
He can deny it. That's it.
So it's impossible on a flat Earth, David. You understand? Just like you don't understand.
If it's flat from Dallas, if it's flat from Dallas to Chile, it doesn't matter.
That's a big if, David. That's a big if, David.
It's not.
You start the sentence with if, and nothing after it is true.
All I know
is dismissed.
It doesn't matter how far I travel in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. You'll never see any curvature ever.
You don't see curvature by driving. Are you that dumb? Really?
Sure, you're not going to.
You're not.
Okay, then how come when you're in an airplane and you're going 600 miles an hour, you're going 600 miles in 1 hour, in 10 hours you're going
airplane.
We showed you a picture yesterday, David.
You tell me these airplanes are flying upside down, but you never feel it. You never feel the point to where you start going upside down.
David, you don't go upside down, you moron. David,
Man,
you don't turn upside down relative to the vector of gravity. You don't do
Don't
it.
you
Or
understand
for your
that
magical
half the
force
ball's
of
only
down.
12,000 miles. You act like 12,000 miles. They give you 12,000 miles on a lease on a car. Do you understand that? You get that in a year for free when you lease a car. That ain't no miles, man.
Right, I'm
That's
sorry to
grandma's
interrupt.
money.
Right, I'm going to turn you all down just for a second, just so I can actually introduce Jibby Jedi. So we've been joined by Jibby Jedi. Very pleased to have you here.
Dude, I could walk back and forth 12,000 miles in a 2-foot box, dude. Come on.
Hi, Jibby.
Hey, guys. Thanks, Nathan.
Good to have you
Jibby,
here.
can you make a reasonable point and save Flurp from this nutter?
Yeah, please, Jibby.
Well, if you're counting on me for a reasonable point, I might disappoint you, but I'll try.
He's a clown. He's an absolute clown. Please take
Guys
over.
making it look really bad.
You should snipe him.
I'm the flat jester, yes.
Don't snipe anyone.
I'm just a poor, illiterate immigrant farmer who comes from a long line of illiterate farmers who migrated to America, and we're just now hearing about this globe. And I'm illiterate. Can you convince me I'm on a globe? Yeah, I've never seen proof of this globe. Just been a farmer all my life. So has my family for hundreds and hundreds of years. We didn't know how to read. We couldn't afford schooling. As far as we knew, the lights above moved around us.
Well, then how did you afford a P900? That's a joke.
Anyway. Don't worry, bro. We got your back. We're going to teach you about this thing.
All right, who's going to show them? Who wants to
They're
show?
gonna teach you some lies is what they're going to teach you.
Shut up, David.
Okay, Dave. You can't debunk
how
any
can
of
you
our lies.
teach
You can't prove it, can you?
How can you teach a poor immigrant farmer?
You just say it. You just repeat. You just spew it out.
Illiterate.
It's all.
I'm illiterate. I'm an immigrant. I know how to farm. That's it. How do you teach me about this gravity and all of this?
Well, you just want to know the
spinning?
shape of the Earth first, don't you? Before you learn
Well,
gravity.
my family and I, we've lived on flat farmlands as far as the eye can see. We've never seen this curve.
Yeah.
Because it's not one.
Well, we can start by explaining the 6 observations you could make over an equinox. If you want to go over that real quick.
Big shout out to Morgan Ellis. Thank you for donating to my super chat.
Yo, Morgan.
Yo.
Crazy man. Must have money to burn.
Woo.
So if you have a flat Earth map and you kind of plot where the sun would be at sunrise, where it might be at sunset, you can actually measure the predicted azimuth of sunrise and sunset. Whereas on the globe Earth model, since the terminator line goes north-south, it looks like everyone would see the sun rise and set at due east and due west. Number 2, horizon angle of sunrise and sunset. This is an aspect I've never seen mentioned in any other Flat Earth debate video, but if you record the sun as it rises, its path in the sky as it rises or as it sets, you can actually measure the angle it makes with the horizon. And then if the Earth is a globe, you can actually take 90 minus your latitude and see if it matches. Number 3, elevation angle of the sun. You're going to make yourself a plastic solar chronometer using a plastic protractor, and if you point it at the sun and take the protractor reading, if the Earth is a globe, you can simply take 90 minus the protractor, 90 minus your angle of elevation, and you'll get your latitude. Whereas if the Earth is flat, you can actually try where the sun is in the sky. Number 4, path of the sun. This technique is going to use a sundial using a simple gnomon. And so this is my favorite observation of all. Using geometry, I predicted that the pattern of shadows on a flat Earth would be a semicircle. And so I used a Gleason's map, and I moved a little desk lamp around, and I found that it was indeed a perfect semicircle. Then, using the globe Earth model, I predicted the pattern of shadows would be a perfectly straight line, like the blue dots. And then I tried it out on an actual globe, and it was, in fact, a straight line. So this will really give you a huge clue as to the shape of the Earth, if you do this observation yourself. Number 5, hours of sunshine. So many flat Earth folks say that the sun is a spotlight casting its light down on the Earth. And so if you take a look at this spotlight model, you may come up with a problem with the number of hours of sunshine on the equinox. So you may need to modify the pattern of illumination. Whereas in the globe Earth model, we have a terminator line that runs north-south, so every point on the globe will receive approximately 12 hours of sunshine during the equinox. Number 6, wagon wheel sunspots. So on the flat Earth model, if you move a beach ball in a pattern that the sun moves above the equator, you can actually see what the pattern of the colored panels would be, how the colored panels might move on the beach ball relative to an observer. And you may conclude that the sunspots are going to sweep across the sun left to right. Whereas if you analyze it from a globe perspective, you realize that since an observer is standing on the sloping surface of the globe, they're going to see the sun at different orientations. Thus, the angles will change in a rotational fashion, not a sweeping fashion. So we'll call this the wagon wheel effect. And you can actually measure the angle that the sunspots rotate. So again, if you would like more details on these observations and how to carefully make them,
I misplaced my baby bottle and baby rattler.
Wow.
Was this ages 1 to 4 or 1 to 5? The music was very uplifting and adult. Thank you for that. Did he say the sunspots move horizontally? Like they're moving across the sun? Is that the
Yes,
last
they
point?
do.
Oh well, that is not what my illiterate family and I have observed all our lives. We see these sunspots; they move kind of clockwise. They follow the sun. Sometimes they move inward towards the center, and then the next day they'll emerge and start spiraling outward.
All the traffic, all the air traffic goes east to west. You never see anything go over the North Pole. You see on all these stuff that you were showing.
The North Pole.
All that you were showing, the North and South America was on the other side of the world.
Listen,
Okay,
Santa lives on the North Pole, dude.
man, everything all the plane flights either you fly east or you fly west. You never see anything go over the North Pole.
Workshop.
Every bit of that you were showing,
secret.
all you got to do is rewind it and look and see how they show look right there at the very top right there. It shows it shows North and South America on the other side of the world.
Big shout out to Caveman444 for donating to my super chat.
So you don't debunk that.
We weren't listening, man. You talk about the North Pole. We told you about it yesterday, man.
Man, all that stuff you were just
What's
showing.
your answer to your question? What did we say to you yesterday? Oh, right. You weren't listening. You were just shouting at us.
Everything that you were showing right there was showing the North and South America on the other side of the ball. None of that was true to fact. Everything's east to west.
This poor kid don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, everything's a curve is what you got. What I see.
Well, we were just talking about the video we just saw.
I watched it.
Can you explain? Can you explain how the dots are straight? Because Rick has actually done this experiment. We all watched him do it on his stream. He did it himself.
Do any plane flights go over the North or South Pole to get to anywhere? Do the plane flights go over the North and South America to go anywhere?
Why would they fly over the North or the South
all that
Pole?
stuff you were just showing there.
It's not a
Federal Express for Sanders.
Plus, if they're all
bad weather and it's dangerous, why would they do that? Just to prove to you that the Earth isn't flat? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you fly over the North and South Pole? Why don't you do it? Since it's such a
it's getting quite busy right there up at the North Pole. Well, where's all this busy at the North Pole? Back in the 50s, busy. It's quite busy up there. Well,
What is on the opposite side of America? I'm in Dallas. What's on the opposite side of the ball? Exactly where I'm standing. If I went straight north and went over the North Pole,
Google.
What is the first land continent I'm gonna run into when I go straight north over the North Pole?
Ask Google.
Yeah, you can't come up with that answer either.
Why should I be able to?
Because you don't know anything. You don't know anything. If you got this,
answer such a ridiculous
this magical ball. You got this magical ball. Just look at your magical ball and tell me.
The magical ball.
There's water on the opposite side of the United States, knucklehead.
Yeah, I would guess water.
For how long? Until you hit Antarctica or what?
Dude, are you
How
just
far
full
till
of
you get
hate?
to Antarctica if you go straight north over the North Pole?
Like a good
How
way
far?
to express hate.
How far?
How far
What's
are you?
pleomorphism? What color are the paper clips in my container?
I just like to ask you questions you can't answer.
What paper clips I have?
Hey,
What's my mother's middle name,
hey,
dude?
I never said I was the sharpest tool in the shed. All I know is what my tool.
No one
can do.
ever said that.
And I know I can ask
Dude,
you
nobody
questions you
would
can't
make
answer.
that
Okay.
Okay, dude, that's an interesting point. If you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, then how are you qualified to judge everyone else's intelligence?
Because y'all ain't sharp. Because y'all ain't even as sharp as I am. So y'all really got
Well,
some.
obviously we are. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but
okay, so how far is it?
You're not talking. You can't remember anything we've told you. We keep asking us.
Okay, there he is. Look,
Even
show us.
Right there, right?
So how,
or
I'm in
Kentucky.
Dallas, Texas. I'm in Dallas, Texas.
No, you're in Tennessee. We're gonna say Tennessee or South Florida.
No, you just go from Dallas. Go right on Dallas.
No,
go
you're in
straight over the
Daytona
North
Beach.
Pole.
Yeah, you like NASCAR?
I'm in the heartland of I'm in the heart of the world is where I'm at.
You're
Dallas,
in Daytona
Texas,
Beach, Florida.
the heart of the world, right here in Dallas, Texas.
Dave, just listen.
Look, the world has a butthole. Even you can check it out. Right there.
There's that magical spinning ball, folks.
Sorry, Grim. You are presenting, Grim. What are you trying to depict or show? What are we seeing? Or what are you trying to show?
Showing nothing.
David, what is on the other side of the
States?
They're not showing.
Is in
big old area of water.
Yeah, watered.
Right. Sure it is. Sure it is. Isn't that the way it is on everywhere you go? So you go from Africa, go over to North America. Where you see there's nothing but water on that side too, right? On one whole side. Isn't that kind of funny?
Dead on. Dead across the center of the globe.
Thing if true.
And I'm still right in the water, right on.
We notice we've never seen anybody go on these trips that I'm talking about. You ever notice that?
I've noticed you haven't done it.
Yeah. Have you tried to go?
If
you
you're
keep
not
asking,
going on trips,
you can't find these
that's
things.
your.
Have you tried to go on a trip?
There it is. It's like 15,000 miles to get to land if you go straight north out of Dallas, right?
You see Admiral Byrd's
20,000
equipment? You need serious
20,000
equipment to
miles.
track that.
What? Where's David getting these figures from?
How's this not accurate, by the way?
David?
Maybe because it's a ball.
Those land continents aren't done to scale. They're not. They're not done. They're not done to scale. None of the continents are done to scale.
How do you know?
Oh, David, I'm very interested
Show us some evidence
for that. I want your evidence for that. What is your evidence that it's not right?
About 10 countries will fit just inside of Africa, folks. Okay?
What do you know about Africa, man?
Just Google what continents will fit inside of Africa.
David,
just Google that. What continents will fit inside of Africa?
You just
Look at
believe
the scale reference.
bro?
1 inch, it says, is 660 miles. Right? That's a scale reference.
Wow.
Okay,
That's a strong incredulity.
Measure Texas. Measure Texas. That'll be good. Go ahead and do that.
This is 141,800,000th.
Yeah.
Measure
Texas
Texas.
all back.
Listen
The
to
text
this
is all
clown.
backwards. Obviously, a CIA operation.
Is my text
David,
back?
why did you want to know the
Yeah,
distance?
the camera flips.
Why did
the
you
camera
want?
flips it so that
Okay,
we
let me
You
flip
want
it.
the distance?
Let me flip it back. I can fix that.
Why do you want the distance to the North Pole from Dallas, David?
I want to pass the North Pole and see the dang compass flip and keep on going and see
David.
what the next piece of land is. How about that?
David, no difference. Flatter globe, no difference there, G. Why are you banging on a point that doesn't make any differentiation between the globe and the flat Earth?
The
See?
ball's right for one because all you're showing is a bunch of water.
It's because you're a simpleton, sir.
I'm showing you the scale
Hey, Dave.
reference.
Yeah. Oh, that's readable now. That's great.
Yeah. Africa is all those continents are the correct size together, aren't they?
Good job.
How do you know they're not, David?
They're in the,
How do you know
they're in the
they're
right
not,
spot,
David?
right?
How do you know they're not, David?
Because the continents are not to scale. Okay.
How do you know, David? How do
Because
you-
Mexico is not even
David.
the right size. Look
How
at
do
it.
you know, David?
David?
Do you see a pattern here, David? How do you know, David? How do you know? How do you know?
What do you mean,
That is
how do I know?
evidence. Give us some-
Because I've researched and I've looked it up, and I know that they're not to scale. South America are not to scale. That
David,
to scale
you
is
have
not right
demonstrated
there.
that you're capable of reading with comprehension. That is not going to be evidence.
David, David, the nurses said that your time at the living room is done.
Other people need to use the phone, honey.
Let Jibby say something. Come on, Jibby.
Yeah, come on, Jibby.
You lost again tonight. I'm not worried about it.
You guys still haven't convinced me I'm on a spinning ball yet. I'm illiterate. How do you convince me as an illiterate person I'm on a spinning ball?
They ain't convincing nobody of nothing.
Hey, Jimmy.
Well, it's hard to convince an illiterate person of anything, right? They have to.
You can.
Well, I mean, this whole place was filled with illiterate people, and how did they convince all the illiterate people they were on a spinning ball?
I've outsmarted you 25 times in a row, so I don't want to hear it.
Hey, using the word smart is dangerous.
That flat Earth is
there's a difference between somebody that can memorize something and somebody that can think for themselves.
And you can't do either, David. So you're disqualified.
Why don't you go memorize your ball there?
You can't do anything, David.
Why don't you know the other side of the argument? You're trying to debate something you don't know anything about the other side. How can you go to a debate and not know anything about the other side of the argument?
What's wrong about this Mexico? What's wrong about the size of Mexico right here?
He doesn't know.
It's just like last night. You said you didn't know the answer about the flipping of the compass. Even last night you said, I don't know the answer to that.
Nobody said.
You found it.
I never said it.
Curve knew it, didn't he?
I didn't say anything wrong about it. I did not say anything wrong about it.
Yeah, Curve knew it.
Look at that hot spot. That light bulb must be right next to the globe.
You slanderous, slimy twat. Jibby, explain the two celestial poles as we see them. Jibby, explain the two celestial poles as we see them, Farmer.
Yeah, you have to explain that now, Flat Earth. You now have to explain something to us.
There could be two suns that are like mirror balls.
Wow,
the two celestial. You said explain it. I didn't say you didn't say prove it. You said explain it. That's one explanation.
The sun
have two mirror balls.
The sun has nothing
we can
to
have
do with
the thick
celestial
glass
poles,
explanation.
Jibby.
The explanations. There's a difference between explanations and proof.
Would you listen, Jibby?
I can explain why I was late last night, but it's not proof. You know, explanations are not proof.
Jibby, the sun is not part of the celestial poles. Stop it. Answer the question, please, if you're capable.
Who likes kiwis?
Or admit North or South America. Let's look at that.
What do the lights? Okay, we can't explain. We can't explain these celestial holes. We can't explain the celestial holes at the moment. No.
Okay, then why are you going around acting like you know the Earth is flat? It's not a globe.
Because I don't stand in the sky. I stand on the ground.
The two celestial poles
flat Earth theory is easier for illiterate to understand than the.
What is the Earth? It's mostly water. What is water? Level. So what is the Earth?
Water level does not mean it is flat.
No, it's got peaks and valleys on the land.
No,
it's got peaks and valleys on the land, and then the ocean is level.
No, over distance the surface curves. You guys have no proof for flat, but we do have
on land
that
surface
it does
curves. Yeah, on land surface curves, not on water.
Well, we've seen lots of pictures of water where at the bottom of things are obstructed by the curve, and then we had a guy pulling up a water ramp picture.
What about the example of the arrow on the glass? Pour water in the glass, the arrow faces the other way and dips downward.
Would you like picture or video?
When you have a medium there, your horizon's going to drop.
You're saying that the water doesn't curve, but we've talked about this.
You're looking through that medium, the horizon's going to drop. You're looking through a thick water vapor. It appears to drop. It's not dropping.
No.
How does that work on a flat Earth? How can it drop behind something? If the Earth's flat and the horizon, and you're just looking across a flat plane, how can it drop down?
It just appears to. That's what happens when light passes through a medium. It just appears. You're looking through thick water vapor. It appears it's not dropping down though, because we can see much further.
I have the debunk for this. For what Jibby is saying is absolutely false, and we know this to be absolutely false because no matter where in the sky, except for down near the horizon, throughout the entirety of the sky, the angular diameter of the distance between the stars does not vary between when they're overhead and when they rotate around the pole. When they approach until they approach the horizon, there's a tiny little bit of refraction. But other than that,
nothing on the horizon, you might be able to see more.
Jibby. The angular distance between the stars in the sky does not change. They are not being displaced as
your stars will never reach the true horizon because of obstacles.
Jibby, you're ignoring this.
Well, you're ignoring that statement.
Point is measurable observation.
How come you never seen a shooting star go straight up? How come you never seen that?
No more.
Right, I'm going to have to interrupt you all and just say a quick hello to both of our new guests. So we've been joined by Paper Explainer and Hank Hill. Very pleased to have you both here.
I thought it was
Thanks so much. Hello, Paper Explainer. How are you?
Hi, guys.
Anyway, we can talk about that sometime, and I'd like to talk about that with you. But your claims about the water and the atmosphere and everything, despite the fact that there's not enough water in the atmosphere, it's not an ocean in the air.
You look enough through it horizontally, there will be enough.
To displace it a tiny little bit. That's it, Jibby. Now answer Paper.
That's all I really said. Yeah, it displaces it. It drops it down a little.
Can I ask you a question, Jimmy?
What's that?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who told you that water is always flat?
Water did. Observing
water.
Yes. Observing water. Yes.
No.
The physics of water. Observing water. Yeah, water. Takes the shape of its container.
So you've observed water on a circle that is 25,000 miles in diameter.
That I've never done.
Okay, but from what you've observed, you think that water is always flat.
When at rest, yes.
When at rest, okay. And like I say, who told you that?
Water did. Nobody told me that. That's water, and I guess I had teachers that reassured that, but just on a small scale.
The fact that you've observed
on a large scale for some reason.
Okay, so the fact that you've observed water appearing flat to you makes you believe that observing the same amount of water on a circle that is 25,000 miles in diameter would look somehow different?
Flat circle, no, not a
That's
flat
what
circle.
That's what you're saying is that all of a sudden it starts curving.
Yes.
Well, do you expect us to be able to detect with your normal little human eye the curvature in a circle that is 25,000 miles in diameter?
Well, I believe boats going over the curvature was the first claim that the human eyesight could see the curvature. And then when they tell us the circumference math, we see further past that what we should be able to see on the circumference math. So that also doesn't make sense.
And the fact that boats do disappear over the horizon bottom first doesn't lead you to believe that
they disappear bottom first, but their height stays the same above the water in perspective to the distance.
That's horseshit.
Perspective.
Right, as they will appear to shrink as they get further and further away, but they are still just as high above the surface of the water.
That's an absolute lie. Absolute lie. You couldn't have done worse there, Jimmy.
So they stay the same
I think
size.
anybody could see that for themselves.
So they stay the same size, and yet the hull disappears first. So how do you explain that?
Well, they stay the same height above the top of the mast will stay the same height above the water relative to its distance from the observer. Meaning that if you take a closer boat, and you shrink it percentage-wise to be the same height as the other one, the water levels will match, and the top of the mast will match.
We've been joined by Huey. Very pleased to have you here, Huey. Thanks for joining.
How far is the first foot of curvature? How far do you get there?
Just a very quick hello. Sorry to interrupt to Huey.
Hey, Huey.
Oh, you're all good, Nathan.
Hey, guys. Hello, Nathan.
Thanks for being here.
So, Jimmy, why does the bottom disappear first? Why not the top?
That's because of the atmospheric compression of the gases at that low level. The more and more you're piercing through it, the thicker and thicker it gets, like you're getting Coke bottle glasses at this point of water vapor. So it's going to get thicker and thicker, and it's going to create that mirroring kind of effect where it looks like the boat's not there, but it still is, and it's still at the same height.
So there's been
it does not dip downward. It stays the same height. The bottom is invisible, but the mass is still somehow, it looks like it's floating in midair, but we know it's not.
There's been numerous
I want to correct Jimmy.
large tankers.
I want to correct Jimmy. He said the mirroring effect.
I think it would be atmospheric lensing effect. You know, like distortion through the Coke bottle
that
lens.
too. It's mirroring. It's lensing. It's distortion.
What is that?
It all varies based on the conditions of the day.
Numerous pictures.
I'm going to do one last link before we round out this show in about 10 minutes time. Hope you're all enjoying the debate thus far. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. So if you did want to get in some last minute trolling, now is your opportunity if there is space on the panel. Simply click on that link below the video with the page you are currently watching on mute. There are only a couple of rules. Number 1, please do not swear. And number 2, if you are ejected for swearing, please do not try to rejoin using sock accounts. If you've not done so already, please share the show on social media. And once more, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Back into vision.
Man and machine both have limited capabilities. It's limited capabilities. You act like that we have the ability with a telescope or with our eyes to see.
David, you moron.
Miles. We can't do it. There's not a machine that can see.
It's not too far away, you idiot.
Okay, but we
one object is a source of light. The other objects are reflecting the light.
Just because you don't believe in them doesn't mean that they don't exist or work. So we could use a telescope to see a sun if it was still there to be seen. No matter how far away it moves.
Look at it.
If the sun
I guess you're children of the sun, huh?
If the sun has gone over the horizon and zooming in, surely should bring the sun back.
That would take altitude.
That's not true because the sun, it's only how far you or the piece of equipment can see. Okay, that's all that you can see.
David, why are you saying that the top of the sun is close enough to see, but the bottom of the sun is too far away to see when you see it half set? Does that make sense to you, David?
Yes, you can only see so far. You can only see so far. No, you can only see so far.
So how far away?
You're an utter embarrassment.
How far away?
Think about Kurt, what he's showing there. You know, is it that the hull is disappearing, or is it that it's apparently disappearing because it's being blocked out by the atmosphere? Can you tell for certain, Kurt, if it's blocked out by the atmosphere or if it's blocked out by curvature? Can you tell that for certain?
Curvature, because you can clearly see very distinguishable waves at the horizon line blocking the bottom of.
I think it's both. I think sometimes it's caused by tides and waves, where you cannot see that kind of atmospheric effect, and there are other times where it looks like the mast is floating,
what's going on here?
and it isn't
you
due
see
to the
what's
waves.
going on here? Take a look at this, Jibby. Tell me that's what's going on here.
It's an anomaly.
Defined line.
I've seen them before. It's an anomaly one. You don't see these all the time.
It's an anomaly.
This is like mid-high tide.
I've got another question y'all can't answer.
Okay.
What's the question? There you go. Progressively going down and down and down.
You want me to ask you another question you can't answer?
Water.
How much total
line.
real estate can the sun cover in 24 hours?
Where
would you not ask? Would you not? But in all fairness, would you not ask for another video of the same thing under other atmospheric conditions for comparison? You wouldn't just take one piece of footage as proof.
Check out Red's Rhetoric. Check out Matrix Decode. Kinds of people that have done this, and when you don't get that mirage effect, happen if the boat is big enough and you want
one or the other. You're going to get a tidal effect, or you're going to get the atmospheric
Supposedly
effect.
It's dark on one side of the ball and it's light on the other, right? Is that what y'all?
No, you're incompetent.
Okay, you guys are saying it's a mirage. We're saying it's atmospheric lensing, in the fact that the atmosphere is acting like a magnifying glass, zooming in on a picture. Think about it if you play.
You don't even know what atmospheric lensing is.
Well, it's like thick glasses. You know, you got to put your face up to the lens.
Hold on, just
stick a piece of get a piece of fishing line and stretch it out there and show us the first foot. Why don't you do that? Where's the first foot?
You can't do it with fishing line, David. You can't stretch it and keep it straight. You moron.
You said just a minute ago that just over a mile you can tell you can measure curvature. Where's that? Where's that
fishing line a mile and keep it straight? You utter moron.
Yeah, right.
God, you're stupid. Go
we
do
have
it,
about
David.
5 minutes
Go
left,
do it.
gentlemen.
Okay,
About
so what I was
5
trying to say
minutes left.
was the atmosphere is acting like a magnifying glass and zooming in on the image.
Based on what? We don't
No,
have
what they're
any
telling
evidence
us is that when they can measure curvature, they can't measure curvature. They
anything.
can't see shit
No,
on curvature.
Where's your evidence that the atmosphere
Let me
magnifies?
finish. Let me finish.
Why?
So,
You're already in the weeds. You've already lied, Hank.
dude, I'm not lying. I'm giving an explanation, and you're being dishonest by not allowing me to finish. So
you're being dishonest by lying.
He just said we could find a curvature after 1 mile. Why don't you show us that picture? Why don't you show us that video?
Are you an American?
Would
Would you mind allowing me to exercise my freedom of speech?
This is not a freedom of speech issue. We're not government. Stop it.
No, you're like trampling on my rights. It is an issue. So allow
Then
me
spit it out, Hank.
please.
Spit it out, for God's sake.
Okay, so if you think about it like you got a DVD player and you zoom in, right, the bottom is going to disappear, correct? You can't read the subtitles if you zoom all the way in.
Zoom in like him.
That's what the atmosphere is doing to the image of the ship before it reaches your eyes or binoculars or camera or whatever.
So how come when we see birds flying on the horizon, they don't shrink, or they don't magnify when we see like a bird or a plane?
Well, sometimes they do. When they get closer to the water, they vanish. Birds
The higher
vanish.
they get, the smaller they get. It's just like airplanes.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You haven't seen a bird vanish far out when it gets close to the water?
You're saying the atmosphere is acting like a magnifying glass, so
It
you'd be
depends.
seeing that in the air. Well, it doesn't look
Yes,
like that,
because
does
the
it?
water
Common
molecules
sense.
How come you can't see a jumbo jet at 30,000 feet? How come you can't see a jumbo jet at 30,000 feet? So you know your feet.
Yeah, exactly. You just proved my point because it should be magnified.
Your eyes can only see.
No, you're looking straight through it. You're not looking like horizontally through it. It's different.
Yeah, but when it's on the
Different effect.
horizon,
The heavy gases, horizontally.
When you're on the horizon, it's going through loads of the gases, isn't it? When it's
What
like flying
does
away.
the convex lens do? Can anybody answer that question, any bowlers?
Can you repeat the question clearly?
What does a convex lens do?
A convex lens.
Depending on which side of it you're on.
Yeah.
Well, it's convex on both sides, and you're on one side looking through it. Does it magnify?
Yeah.
Ooh, if
So
it's
what would
convex
a
on both
trillion
sides.
billion water particles do?
Sides.
Yeah, what would a trillion billion
Together,
water particles
boobies.
do
Booby to booby.
to an image as you're looking through a trillion billion evaporating water molecules?
Yeah, but what I'm just saying to you is that what we see with our eyes when we look through out at the sky? Does it look like a convex micro?
You're angling up. You're not looking through the thicker gases at that point.
No, but you
you're
are.
seeing
We're
up
looking-
quickly through the thicker part because your
on the
angle
horizon.
of direction is upward.
If something
So
on the
it's not going to be quite the same as your angle of direction horizontal.
So birds or anything on the horizon, like even a plane, when it's on the horizon or when it's landing, are we seeing it getting magnified?
How about straight above your head? How far can your eyes see straight above your head?
Variable atmospheric condition at the bottom of the plane, even from not that far away, you can see.
But how does a magnifying glass work? And does the atmosphere behave in that way?
I'm confused. Are you implying that I could boil some water on the stove and then hold something behind it and it would be magnified?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah,
I'm talking evaporation over
horizontal boil, maybe.
How does a magnifying glass work? It works by bending the light, doesn't it? Because
Correct.
it's like a dense medium change, and it bends it sharp. Yeah. So how does the atmosphere work like that? Is there a thick layer somewhere that just turns
It depends on the illumination of the thing that you're looking at. It has to be illuminated. You can't just see things forever.
Dave, we're not talking.
Oh my
I don't
God.
even know what you're talking about, Dave.
So dumb.
The reason that it magnifies, the atmospheric lensing happens because of the water molecules or particles that are in the air that are evaporating. You're looking through the atmosphere and the water. And what this does is it causes the image to disperse as the light bounces off of whatever it's hitting, a ship or a building.
It's just like
bouncing.
putting a scuba mask underwater.
And with that, I'm going to say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who have joined us in the live audience, and an extra special thank you to Caveman and Morgan for donating to the Super Chat. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.